Have you ever imagined that the most devastating power lies not in speaking, but in silence? In The Power of Silence, you'll discover how the simple act of staying quiet can unlock your influence and protect your destiny. It sounds counterintuitive. We assume the loudest voice wins, but in just minutes you'll see the opposite is true. Prepare to learn techniques that, though silent, deliver immediate clarity, respect, and authority. By the end, you'll have a step-by-step method to make your silence your secret weapon. One, rediscovering the power of silence. Many believe silence is just a meaningless pause, yet it holds a treasure of reflection and insight that words overwhelm. When we talk too much, we lose the thread of our own thoughts and the chance to listen to ourselves. How many important ideas vanish beneath a flood of words? Embracing silence is rediscovering a path to your own wisdom. In tense moments, staying quiet creates space to observe before reacting. Zeno of Citium taught that we should listen with twice the intensity of our hearing. That suggests we listen twice as much as we speak, as a gesture of respect. This practice helps us catch nuances that rushed speech cannot reveal. It is in that strategic pause that you find inner calm. Imagine a salesperson who loses a sale with a thoughtless comment at the wrong moment, only to watch the client withdraw, uncertain of the proposal's value. Or the jokester whose endless chatter erodes respect. These examples show how opportunities slip away when we do not know when to hold our tongues. This lesson leads us to embrace the Stoic virtues of temperance and wisdom. 2. Silence and Stoic virtues. Silence is not absence, but fertile ground for Stoic virtues to flourish. Temperance teaches us to measure our words so as not to sacrifice inner peace. Wisdom acts like a beacon, guiding us to speak or to still the mind at just the right moment. By pausing before we respond, we strengthen self-control and presence. In that balance of restraint and discernment, we shape our own destiny. Think of a conductor leading an orchestra. Each rest is as important as the notes themselves. Similarly, temperance reigns in the impulse to speak, making every word carry weight and purpose. In a team discussion, holding back an immediate comment opens space to hear brilliant ideas. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations offers reflection exercises to train this internal break. Over time, that habit builds self-respect and earns admiration, brick by brick. Wisdom emerges when we distinguish timely speech from empty chatter. In a presentation, asking questions only after listening shows mastery and genuine empathy. A practical exercise: before any intervention, take a deep breath to clear your mind. Epictetus's manual provides excerpts that can guide this care for one's voice. With that foundation, we'll see how this principle comes to life in a sales example. 3. A practical sales example. Carlos and Alex, both salespeople, experience silence's power in opposite ways. Carlos talks loudly, anticipates objections, and offers discounts before the client even asks, devaluing his own work and eroding profit margins. Alex, on the other hand, remains silent until he truly understands the client's needs, then asks precise questions and delivers tailored solutions. This contrast shows how listening builds authority. Alex inspires trust by demonstrating genuine interest, whereas Carlos appears desperate and inexperienced. The mentor recommends practicing key questions such as, "What do you hope to achieve with this product?" and using active listening to record intentions rather than rushing to the first pitch. Try this today. Pick 3 clients and, before speaking, note mentally what you hope to learn by remaining silent. Use the question pause method. Ask a question, count to 3, then speak. Books like Spin Selling by Neil Rackham offer scripts that reinforce this technique. By noticing your own speech patterns, you'll be ready to reflect on losses and lessons learned. 4. Reflection and self-awareness. Self-knowledge shines as the beacon that calms the impulse to speak without thought. The mentor suggests a simple exercise: reflect on 3 significant losses in your life. Mentally reviewing these events brings emotions and lessons to the surface before any word is spoken. This quiet pause reveals behavior patterns that fuel excessive talking. With reflection and awareness, you pave the way to more measured speech. In practice, set aside 5 minutes each evening for the 3 losses exercise. It might be the loss of a job, a friendship, or a project that never took off. Writing these memories in a notebook or app, even just as bullet points, makes a difference. Revisiting each memory reveals clues about what drives your chattiness. With this discipline, your internal silence gains strength and idle chatter loses its place. The mentor also emphasizes the value of regularly reviewing these notes. This reveals progress, less impulsiveness, and more conscious word choices. You begin to recognize emotional triggers that spark endless talking. Armed with that awareness, you can create a mental anchor, the next step to mastering silence. 5. Mental anchoring technique. Mental anchoring is a powerful technique that uses a stimulus to evoke a desired state, such as calm and focus. By linking a physical object, a bracelet, a ring, or even a silicone band, to that state, you create an anchor that instantly brings on inner silence at a simple touch or glance. This leverages neuroplasticity to train your brain to respond with serenity. The anchor becomes a subtle reminder to pause your tongue and listen before speaking. To implement this, choose a small object you can carry daily. Then establish a calm trigger ritual. When you put it on your wrist, take 3 deep breaths, feeling tranquility flow from your chest to your throat, where words originate. Repeat this daily to forge the link between the stimulus and the inner silence you seek. Before long, merely touching the anchor will trigger mental stillness and control over your speech. Imagine a professional about to deliver a report who discreetly adjusts the bracelet, breathes, activates the anchor, and listens attentively to questions instead of rushing to speak. This practice not only builds confidence but also prevents communication errors caused by over-talking. With anchoring established, the next step is to keep your plans and motivation to yourself, preserving your internal focus for disciplined, wise action. 6. Keeping plans and motivation private. Sharing your goals too early gives your brain a premature taste of victory. When you talk about a project before executing it, dopamine floods your system, creating the illusion of achievement. That false sense of completion kills real motivation, because the urgency to act disappears. Anyone who's ever announced a big plan and then felt the drive vanish knows this well. The mentor advises keeping your ambitions under wraps like a hidden treasure you refine yourself. Marcus Aurelius taught, "Do not allow what you have not done to rob you of what you have." Choosing whom to confide in is as important as the plan itself. One ill-intentioned listener can sap your momentum or sabotage your spirit. Set clear criteria: long-standing friendship, proven empathy, and commitment to your growth, before sharing. Revealing only to those who cheer you on keeps your energy focused. To practice, dedicate a notebook or app exclusively to your most important goals. Write each objective in detail, review weekly, and adjust your course in total silence. This habit builds a mental vault that keeps your motivation intact until it's time to act. By protecting your aspirations from outside opinions, you ensure fierce focus and discipline. With that solid foundation, the next step is to stay silent on trivial opinions that drain mental power. 7. Silence on trivial opinions. Every day we're bombarded with requests for opinions. Who should win a reality show? Who looks better together? What color car is best. We feel compelled to weigh in, but those trivial opinions waste mental energy and erode focus. In Meditations, Marcus Aurelius advises us to reserve our minds for what truly matters, steering clear of frivolous distractions. Victor Hugo similarly warned that sincerity does not mean blurting out every thought. By staying silent on the trivial, you save energy for profound matters and earn respect for your discretion. Imagine someone at a barbecue facing the classic question, "What do you think of that celebrity's outfit?" Instead of joining the gossip, the sage suggests smiling and saying, "I'm not sure. Tell me about you." That brief silence shifts the focus away from idle chatter to genuine connection. Learning to politely decline to opine on the superficial shows self-control and maturity, a beam of light dispelling rumors. With that internal filter practiced, you'll see the importance of setting communicative boundaries next. To try this today, pick 3 trivial situations where you usually chime in: social media threads, group chats, or workplace small talk. In each case, pause before speaking and ask yourself, will this add value to my life? If not, stay silent and steer the conversation towards something constructive. At the end of the day, reflect on the time and mental clarity you gained. You'll be amazed at how much focus you reclaimed. With that practice, you'll be ready to establish respectful, effective communication boundaries. 8. Setting boundaries in communication. Defining clear communication boundaries is an act of self-care that protects emotional integrity. Epictetus taught us the 2 handles lesson: one for what we can control, another for what we must let go. By setting clear limits, you safeguard your mental space and signal self-respect. This courageous, empathetic act gives others the chance to understand your boundaries. Conversations then cease to be chaos and become balanced, conscious dialogue. Imagine someone who always answers messages at any hour, feeling guilty for delayed replies. The sage recommends a transition phrase like, "I appreciate your message, but I need to focus on something right now." This verbal boundary acts like a protected garden where words bloom at the right time. Communicating with both empathy and firmness prevents resentment and keeps connections healthy. With those limits in place, you're ready to address the danger of excessive speech next. To practice, list on paper your non-negotiable limits, times for rest or sensitive topics you avoid. Prepare brief boundary phrases by rehearsing in front of a mirror or with a trusted friend. Keep a record of times those limits were challenged to refine your delivery. Over time, saying, "Not now," or "I'd rather not comment," becomes natural and powerful. Equipped with these tools, you'll handle the next topic with ease, controlling over-talking. 9. Guarding against excessive speech. Excessive speech arises from unchecked emotion, when words escape before the mind can intervene. Some, like Vanessa, share plans prematurely and suffer the fallout. Plato once grew so frustrated he asked his servant to answer insults for him just to avoid hasty words. In those moments, unfiltered speech can leave scars hard to erase. Recognizing that urge is the first step to regaining control over your discourse. The mentor advises practicing the 3-second rule. Count to 3 before speaking to create a window for reflection. Visualize your words being recorded. Awareness of an unseen audience curbs impulsive chatter. Jot down phrases that have hurt you in a notebook to map triggers and avoid repeating them. Each measured word gains weight, and the drive to overtalk gives way to prudence. With that self-control, you prepare to reap the benefits of personal growth. Silence becomes a learning tool, revealing hidden layers of your own being. Finally, The 10th topic shows how silence uplifts not only communication but the spirit, a fitting conclusion to turn Stoic practice into a fulfilling lifestyle. 10. Personal and spiritual growth through silence. Silence serves as an internal mirror where the silent speaker hears emotions with clarity. In that quiet space, you uncover thought patterns unnoticed amid verbal noise. Cultivating daily moments of silence helps you know yourself more deeply and strengthens emotional resilience. It's like keeping an invisible journal inside your mind, where each pause reveals new levels of self-understanding. This practice makes silence an ally for course correction and purposeful growth. On a spiritual level, silence becomes a bridge to the transcendent, awakening the sacred in everyday life. In the contemplative style of a monk, silence turns into a wordless prayer, connecting you to something greater. Practices such as guided meditation or a moment of silent prayer reinforce that inner link. Those who engage in this inner retreat report a deep peace that words cannot reach. In this way, silence nourishes the spirit and expands your sense of purpose. To incorporate this habit, schedule 5 daily minutes of active silence before bed. Use a meditation app or simply close your eyes and listen to your breath. Books like The Power of Silence by Eckhart Tolle offer guidance for turning quiet into practice. Over time, silence ceases to be just an interval and becomes a lasting source of inspiration and wisdom. After exploring that inner realm, you'll be ready to tie everything together in a compelling introduction and impactful conclusion. Now it's your turn to experience the power of silence in action. Choose one of these 10 topics that resonated most with you and apply it today. Will you practice conscious silence in an important conversation or use your mental anchor in your next meeting? Share in the comments which strategy you tried and how it felt to reduce your flow of words. Your experience may inspire others to embark on this path of self-reflection and self-control. Remember, each time you stay silent, your future voice grows more powerful and impactful. What changes have you noticed in your day by pausing before you speak? Tell us. Your story could be the spark someone needs to break old habits of endless chatter. Don't let this transformation remain theoretical. Put it into practice and challenge a friend to join you on this journey. By questioning your speaking habits, you take the first step toward deeper relationships and real growth. Are you ready to take that silent leap toward a more conscious life? If this content helped you, like, subscribe and click the bell so you won't miss our next videos. Share with someone who needs to speak less and listen more. Let's build a community of attentive listeners together. Your support makes all the difference in bringing transformative insights. Click subscribe now and secure your spot on this journey of self-discovery. Thank you for being here and see you in the next video.